Today we're going to be making the Cupcake Easel card, and I made the file on the Gypsy, and I used the Doodle Charms cart with the cupcake, and you may be able to see here, I'm not sure how much will show up. It comes with a candle on the top, but I flipped the image and welded it together, and so it won't cut the candle out of the center. It's lined up where it's just going to make the cupcake. And then I took another one of the images and put it over here and pushed it up where the candle and the little sprinkles are off of the page because we don't need to cut it. This is just going to be another one of my bases. And then on the second page I have just the icing that we'll be cutting out of blue. And so I'm going to push the cut button, and it's going to ask me to load my mat, which if you just get it up in there, good. Click load mat, and then click the knife again, and it'll come up and it'll ask you about your pressure and everything's okay, and then it gives you the option of stopping or pausing. Okay, so this first cut is just the cupcake base and then the cupcake welded together that will fold and make the actual card. Okay, now I want to show you, this is the way it cut. We have the cupcake, and I made it where it would overlap just a little bit, and we'll line that up and fold it. And then the second cut that was going to be our base, I wanted to show you where it has the candle, and so it's still kind of attached because it cuts as far as the design is on the mat, and then it stops. So we'll just cut that off and even it up with the rest of the cupcake. And now we're ready to cut the icing. So I'm going to get my mat ready. I have my blue cardstock. Then we're going to go to page 2 and press cut. And when you press cut, you'll see that all of a sudden you don't see all of the other layers. You only see what's going to cut on this layer. Okay, so we want to... Okay, now I have my cuttle bag, and I have the A plate and a B plate, and then I'm going to take the Divine Swirl, and this is going to be our icing. And if you will fit it in there at an angle, you'll be able to get the swirls on all of it. And you'll have to remember there's a border all the way around that doesn't emboss, so you want to get it in there just right, and it just fits. Okay, and then lay another B plate on top and feed it through. And you have all your icing. Okay, and on the bottom I cut another cupcake, and this is going to be for the front of the card, and I have the distressed stripes, and I want it to go on the bottom part of the cupcake to make it look like the pleated cupcake papers. Okay. I'll just take that out and we'll ink that up. Okay, now we're ready to put some ink onto the cupcake just to give it some more dimension. And I'm using, I have the Distress ink, and it's Vintage Photo. And I just have a sponge, one of the little round sponges, cheap ones that I've cut up. I want to get a little bit and rub most of it off. And then I always just start off of the die cut and rub onto the die cut piece. That way you're keeping your darkest color on the outside and lightening up to the inside. But I'm actually going to, once I get most of the color off, I'm going to rub it all the way across the bottom of the cupcake just to give it a little dimension when it will hit on the raised parts of the embossing, and just make that really pop. Okay, so that's probably about enough. And then on the icing, I have a Stampin' Up pad that is Soft Sky, and it's just a real transparent kind of blue, and we'll use it on the icing. This one's very transparent, so it might take a little bit more to get the color to show up. Then on the finished card, I took stickles and went over the top of all of the swirls to just make it pop that much more. This one I just really want to get it around the outside edges to make it dimensional. And that's good. Then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, the next thing we want to do on our cupcake card is I have the base cut, and we're going to want to fold this front half. And so it's kind of just preference where you want it to go. I think a good place is right underneath the frosting here. And so what I basically did was line this up with the groove here. I also wanted to line up where the top of the card folded so that it's completely horizontal from it, or perpendicular. And so I'm going to line that up, and then I'm just going to use my bone folder in here to make a crease, and that will be where the fold is. Oops. Actually, I have learned that I like the back end because it's a little bit bigger, so it stays caught in that groove. You want to do it where you have a good, nice crease, but not so hard that you would cut your paper. Okay, so once that's creased or scored, I don't fold it down really tight, but I do that. And then this is what's going to make it the easel card and pop up. And there's a couple of things that you do. I have the front of the cupcake put together. We inked it all. I have the ribbon here. Our little girl's going to pop up here. And I have this little embellishment. We may put it up here for a cherry. But for now, what we're going to do is we just need to attach it to the card. So the only place that we want to put glue is this bottom half that we scored. You want to make sure that you have lots of adhesive on there so that it's not coming off. Okay, then you're just going to line up bottom of the card. It's going to go there. So there's your card. And then when you fold it up, it stands up. You can see the back, side. So that's how it works. Okay, now on the inside of the card I took some ribbon, and it was just probably from Hobby Lobby. Some sheer blue ribbon. I wrapped it all the way around the card and tied a bow. And then I have my stamp here, which was a $1 woodblock Michael's stamp that just says happy birthday. And we're just going to put that down here. And then that is what will keep the card standing up. Okay, so here's the finished card. I used pop dots and put the little tilde on here. I had a stamp. It's from Just Right. It says sending you birthday wishes on your special day. And then the pink scalloped is cut from mini monograms, and I pop dotted that up so it kind of looked like a cherry on it. The inside with just the happy birthday stamp and the ribbon, and then you fold it. And then I did another one. I don't have a tilde on it yet. I'll probably color one up. But I just put a blue bow. So even if you don't have stamps or you don't want to do one of the little girls, you can just use the cupcake off the Doodle Charms or any other image. Make your easel card. Decorate it up any way you want to. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll try an easel card. Let me know what you think. And if you try one, I'd love to see it. Have a great day.